Hello and welcome to Equity Story, and here we are with the wonderful Wolf, and we had a bit of fun last night, didn't we, Wolf?
Yeah, we did.
Talking to people about the CTM and giving people a little bit of an idea of what we do there. Um,
Like a
and
broken record, aren't we?
yeah, and you wore that shirt last night. So what? Have you been up all night studying? Have you? And
I've
this,
been up all night looking at all the markets, making sure that everyone can sleep at night peacefully while I'm struggling a lot along. Just the way I do it. Take one for the team, Dave.
okay. Well, I'm sure you got a number of pink shirts, haven't you?
No,
Is,
just the one.
is that the one? Is that the one you wear on the Mardi Gras?
I only wore it last night. I thought I'll give it another round because no one probably saw it that I actually can wear a collar shirt.
What is it? Is it what designer is that? Is that like a Lacoste?
Polo Ralph Lauren. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, you are getting paid way too much. But
No, I think it was from the op shop, Dave. Just
by
quietly.
is that one of those dodgy copies that they sell on?
No, I wouldn't do that. No, don't be silly. It's a genuine, but
It's
yeah, I
not
can't remember where I
it's
got it
not a
from.
It's not a Queensland special, is it?
No, no, but
Uh,
it's a nice shirt anyway. Nice color.
okay, all right, Mardi Gras
Mm,
Wolf.
come
Let's
on.
go. And I'm going to start off with an interesting story.
Yeah.
City chic. Which is maybe they're the people dressing you at the moment because you are looking chic. Wolf, really good. We put this on as a trade. The price
Mm,
action's very good.
mm,
And interestingly, today Macquarie came out with a $7.50 target price. Now we're only targeting. We've only got a target of $7, but I like that sort of stuff, Wolf. It makes me see a good chart, see the big guys like Macquarie coming out
mm,
and going, well, it's worth $7.50. I like
mm.
my $7 target price is looking good.
I agree. I mean, look, if you've got a big backer behind you with a lot of clout, usually there's a lot of wind behind the sails, right? So absolutely, let's keep sticking to that trade on it because of course the numbers financially, fundamentally for me, good. However, as always, retailers are not my flavor, right? So, but it's going well. It's going well.
Um, we know retailers are not your flavor, Wolf. We
You
can
can see
say
the way I'm dressed, right?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Now,
It's pretty obvious.
aristocrat.
Yeah.
It's come back down to trend. You look at that sort of.
Uh,
It's not a nice little candle there, but I'll tell you what. I was. How important are the brokers? And they do have a bit of importance because they've got a bit of a following. They help on sentiment. They help with the general sort of I don't know trend often, right? Not always,
mhm.
but often they do. And it was interesting that we got Aristocrat now trading at around 45. It's actually got a lot of support there. But it was interesting to see Credit Suisse has come out with a new target price of 49. Macquarie's at 51. Morgan's at 52. And UBS at 53. Now they've all slightly lowered it, but the importance is that the target prices are generally speaking around near those previous highs. So if you're in Aristocrat, I don't see any reason, Wolfie, of selling this.
No, absolutely no. However, there's two little things that could see volatility in a short term. And one of it, of course, we've got that huge capital raising, right? And the second of all, remember there was an approach from a third party for Playtech, which they are trying to acquire. So you just never know where that's going to lead to. So while absolutely they've come up with today with an update, looking everything look good. You've got brokers are saying positive, positive, positive. But the two things on the sidelines that we're looking at could cause a bit of a ripple. So definitely not smooth sailing, but I'm still holding.
And how big a ripple, Wolf? Is that ripple in the 45, or do you think we're going back down to trend?
Well, look, it could come back with the trend. You just never know what happens with this. I think Eddie Jordan approach. If it is a genuine bid, then if Aristocrat wants Playtech, they probably have to pay more, which is not great because, of course, that means less money for their shareholders. Um, so you just got to watch it closely. I don't know. At the moment, I think where there's a little bit of uncertainty, hence there's a little bit of volatility. Whether it comes back to the full trend line, I don't know. However, we know short term there has to be some volatility.
Okay, so if you're a short-term trader below 45, you're a seller,
Yep, I agree.
and long-term below 41, say 41.50, you're a seller.
Yep,
I've
absolutely.
always hold on. Apart
Yeah,
from that,
exactly,
the
exactly.
chart still looks bullish. The story's bullish.
Yep.
I think the Playtech acquisition is bullish. I mean, whether
Yep.
they've got to pay a little bit more, I think long term it's bullish.
Yep.
The brokers are all bullish. So don't be such a.
Exactly. Everything's bullish except the
You can
short
see
term.
you can see who's you can
Volatility.
you can see who's half glass full and half glass empty, can't you?
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, Wolf,
Hmm.
SHL.
Hmm.
Um, Again, they've had some pretty decent price targets come out today with uh, from Sonic Health. Some outperforms, which is quite interesting. So, maybe if it's not bad at price action. This could, if you're definitely in it, you'd be holding it, and possibly next week. It's not far off a buy signal at the moment. If it ends around this 41.13 by the end of trade today, I think we're going to see this possibly retest 43, 44, or maybe even hit that $45 Wolf. It's looking pretty good actually.
Yeah, there's definitely love from the brokers out there again for the story. It is definitely one of the, I talked yesterday, top 10 probably blue chips on the stock market, not just fundamentally, but of course, probably you have to argue that the chart looks excellent over the long period of time, Dave, as well. So, for me, such an attractive story to have in a long-term portfolio.
Definitely. Wolf,
Mm.
ALU, we put on a trend yesterday. The idea is hitting that 45. It's on the way. The
Halfway
price,
there.
and you know what? The price action looks good. I'll tell you what. If we close around this 43.30 by the close today, I think next week's going to be a good week for ALU.
Yeah, I hope everyone got in because that's like I said, it was what a signal yesterday from the company. Fundamentally, that was for me a signal get in. That's why we put it on yesterday.
Wolf, NXT, looking good. They had the announcement yesterday. The
Mhm.
price action is looking good. I think again, as long as the Dow behaves itself on Friday night, we could see a nice move up next week on NXT as well.
Yeah, I love that update today. They reiterated how strong the whole sector is, and for me, when you look at it, there's only going to be more and more data. Everything's turning digital. How many EV cars are going to be, and pretty much all of them going to be electronic. It's just going to be so much growth still to come, Dave, that I'm very comfortable. Next, I'm going to probably, this is one of the ones that I can go and I have a long-term outlook. And I said long-term, probably 20 years. I'm still comfortable with it.
Well, this is in the
A
21.
whole,
This is in the 21, isn't it?
yeah.
Now,
Uh-huh.
Wolfie, just having a look at a few more MEA.
Mm.
So it's been trending quite nicely, McGrath. What did you? It's a lot of resistance at 70 cents, so I can't really trend this one or trade it at the moment. But what did you make of the update?
Yeah, the update is positive in a positive environment for them. So you'd expect an improved performance. It has, you can see the bottom line, I think 60% up from the previous corresponding period. So all looking good. It is highly cyclical. It is highly um, dependable on what happens in the real estate market in Australia. So while the iron's hot, you play it. The first signs of cooling down, you get out.
Definitely, Wolf. BCI, I thought that was a great raise. What around that sort of 42, 40,
43.
43. So absolutely superb. They got the money for the project. So it's sort of looking
Take
sideways.
my head off to them. I tell you what, it's not easy to raise so much cash. Over $1 billion, whether it's share wise and debt wise, they've done a fantastic job. So congratulations to them.
And certainly, as soon as we can see this trending, it's one worth having a look at.
Yep.
Um, ADA Wolf,
Mhm.
just sideways. Okay, good announcement. It's the stock that we have been following. It's holding trend, but I think this needs to get over 140 to trend it now.
Mhm.
Interesting to see Vimy, some of these uranium plays trying to combine forces.
Yeah, look, it makes sense to go bigger, but the problem is still it doesn't matter if you've got 50 projects under your stewardship. If you can't develop any of them, you still got nothing. So I don't know, whether that's going to help them or not. I mean, it's nice that you see mergers and so on. It probably should be. We've got too many smaller uranium players around. But I think the key step is to get some sort of funding and get one of these projects developed. And that's always for me the big risk.
Definitely. Wolf, we're not putting out any trades today, but we're just obviously having a look, and it's good to see some of the trades that we're putting out are doing okay, and some are holding up quite nicely. I just want to talk about PLT because, from a technical point of view, it's holding up very, very nicely. If you're in this from a fundamental point of view, are you holding it?
Which one?
PLT.
Yeah, fundamentally, absolutely, you'll be holding it. Especially when you see the numbers moving forward, what this sector is undergoing, and that is, the movement away from the big banks or the big institutions to the smaller players, nimble players like your PLTs, your Wisers, and so on. So I think there's still plenty of room for growth for these sort of companies, but that's short-term, unfortunate weighing maybe on the share price. We just have to be patient with it, I suppose. So as long as it holds for me, trend, as per our strategies, I'm okay with it. But that's the price you pay sometimes for having a good story, especially when it's only been listed for less, probably 12 months or so. There's going to be some little hurdles they have to overcome, and that's one of them. The big escrow shares coming on board.
Perfect, Wolf. Now, pretty quiet today. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
I'm just having a look through my list, Dave. Let's just have a look at a couple that's come up with some announcements. First of all, EMD in a trading hold, raising cash. Not unexpected, of course, had a great run. So let's see what they come up with, hopefully around 30 cents. Capital raising. Let's have a look at our good old favorite VUL to see how they're going, because
they did have an announcement today, but I sort of ignored that because I know you're.
I know, but just out of interest to see what's happening. Because remember, they are almost like the flag bearer of the lithium space, right? The FOMO stock. So whenever that sort of looks good, probably the others will follow. When it doesn't look good, probably the others are going to start seeing a bit of heat. They're trying to come up with some positivity behind the story, get the investment community re-engaged again after that short attack. Is it working, Dave? What's the chart
look like? Not really. No, it's holding it. It's holding trend. I'll give you that.
All right. Well, let's look at a couple of others. FZO came out with their update as well. That looks, from a fundamental point of view, when I look through the story, the growth they're talking about, the two markets, the UK, the US, which is really the key markets for them. That's going reasonably well. It's not cheap by any means, but it's a story that definitely worth having on your radar, at least as a trading stock, because it sometimes can move quite well. So I didn't mind what I saw today. And also the other one was NAN. Just let's have a look what that one's at today after today's AGM, just to give us an idea. Are we back yet with NAN or not?
No, unfortunately, both those last two stocks, they're still not making us money, Wolf. Unfortunately.
Fair enough. But at least they're coming up with updates. It's getting better, but not the time to get into them yet. I'm done, Dave. That's all I've got for today.
All right, listen, Wolf. We're going to be live at 12 o'clock, and luckily we can't smell that shirt, isn't it?
Oh, come on, that shit's not that bad. All right, I only wore it for an hour yesterday. Well, I'm going to wash everything. If I wear something for an hour, it's over. I'd have to waste the whole world's water if I did that.
Yeah, you're renewable, aren't you? Renewable.
Exactly.
Right. Thanks, Wolf. See you, mate. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.